Hello and welcome to Karnee Plays Victoria 2 Hearts of Darkness Popular Demand, a mod. So you guys wanted it, I promised it. So this is me sticking to my word of I would go through another Victoria playthrough if suggestions were offered. Someone a while ago offered me the idea of playing Italy and taking that to great power. So I'm finally gonna give it a bash. So one of the things to first note is this is the popular demand mod, and aside from a slightly different colour format, this there are a lot of changes in this one that I generally think improve the gameplay. Let's just have a look. This is the last game I was playing on this a while ago. Yeah, great power, La Plata. I started for Sardinia and just blobbed my way up from there. A lot of fun. But in this game, instead of going back to Colombia, which I will do at some point, we're gonna focus on Italy. So, if you want, you can play Sardinia-Piedmont, which is pretty good. You got a lot of help quite early on from France, and events will definitely help you out as you go through. If you offer a challenging playthrough, you can go for 2 cities. But for me, I want to try and make Italy as strong a power as possible, so I'm going to take advantage of all the events I can get. So let's do this. Okay, so start off here. Look at our review political map. So at the beginning of the game, Italy is in a difficult position. You've got France to the left, Austria, which is just consuming a good chunk of northern Italy, which you can see here. Like all of this territory, sorry, let me do it this way. All of this territory is what you want, that you should have, that Austria has taken from you. So that needs to change. So we need to hit Austria where it hurts. But the problem is we are so weak right now in comparison to them. Like, that's still comparison. 8.80 million, less than a million. 22 units right now. That will double in the next couple of years. I will be stuck with about 13, 14, maybe get to 25 by the time I unite the rest of Italy. Like, that's the situation you're in. You cannot. If you're playing the popular demand mod, I would almost certainly recommend just riding out the first 30 years, letting them happen, and the events will come, and they are so useful in the long run. And everything even the downside from some of these events can be changed. With a little input from the player, you need them. So my starting position is actually fairly good. I have large sphere population, agriculture population, and I'm just trying to find my. There we go. Okay, so in the north, I have a ton of coal, which is super useful, and I want to hold on to that for as long as I possibly can, because the fact that I have these 2 coal mines here is just so useful into the long scheme of things, because it's going to mean that early on I'm not going to be impacted by a lack of coal goods, so I can actually start making cement and other things, and in general this is just going to be a good time. Army wise, we have start with 9 units. Each of them, we'll probably have to dismantle at least one of these. Everyone seems to be overstretched. The only downside about this is the Sardinia question, which is represented in this as South Italy. South Italian culture is not happy with me. They would rather be with Southern Italy. I, on the other hand, want them to be with me, because the advantage they give me is better than, let's say someone else getting a hold of it. So for now, I am more than happy as it is to just let this run through and slowly build up my industry and my prestige, as well as preparing for war. So this is my population, how it looks like. I have an industry already here. There's not a lot that it can expand, and my literacy rate is not actually that bad. It's pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by assigning administrators, bureaucrats, because we need the money. I mean, we're already pretty good, but basically we want to expand and build as much as we possibly can. We have no excuse not to, really. Okay, so with those assigned, we'll go and start this event. Just so you know, actually, before I click that event, the modifiers for research points have been changed in this run through, and that is bureaucrats actually give you something towards it now if you get them to 1%. Now, the difference between the vanilla Victoria and the mod is that when you get them to 1%, in the vanilla version, you get maximum taxation efficiency. In this, you get maximum taxation efficiency at 80. So any extra administration you throw in is going to cost you more to do it, because you're going to end up paying a lot more for bureaucrats just to have this 100% bonus. Which is why, in some cases, it's easier just to... I would almost recommend, if you're in a money-tight situation, get yourself to 80%, focus on getting the money up, and then just focus on getting clergy, because clergy are 2%. So the maximum research rate, literacy rate increase you can get is 4%, and that's if you go up by 4% in each province, but you're not being charged an extra amount for employing them. So yeah, that's just one of the neat things this mod has. One of the other things is decisions. Like, we have a ton of decisions. We have the rights of man we can set off right now. This is just a prestige increase, which is pretty good. Well, everyone will get one eventually. Like the rights of man, everyone's probably going to kick that off early on. So this is an event where we should kick Austria out of Italy, and you know, you need state and government all the years after 1860. So you can rush this if you want, and this will cause a war between Italy, France, and well, we'll send an event to France, and France will usually declare war on Austria with you. So if this gives you a ton of militancy, this should, the Sardinia people, you can use this to, you know, deal with that. It's also the foundation of the modern-day Italian constitution, so it's pretty good. So, if we own this territory that currently Austria owns, then, you know, for three problems here, infamy, you can call upon the Garibaldi's leadership, and he will topple southern governments like I think two Sicilies, and that will just unify with you instantly, which is awesome. Then after you've annexed, or you know, you've gotten along enough, and you've got national imperialism, you could just go ahead and unify. Yeah, there are loads and loads. It's just flavor events, really, and these are pretty awesome. That's always fun. Hey, do you want to violate Swiss neutrality? Yeah, you totally can, but everyone around you will hate you, and it's instant max. So lots of flavor events, which are pretty awesome. So we're gonna start by checking out research. And I like going for experimental railroads, but I also kind of like focusing on getting my military up first. So it's kind of good. Well, you tell you what, a better version is to do this. If I'm focusing on getting my administration up, it's to get up my taxes and administration efficiency, which means I don't need to have as many bureaucrats in one province. So right now we're minus 14. I'm going to increase this to 80. Don't trust this or this until after a couple of days, because this can tell you one thing and this can tell you another. This one will actually give you, you know, how much you are actually earning, but sometimes this can be, it's always worthwhile keeping an eye on both, because this will not always accurately represent this. So increase that, decrease. So the reason I'm doing this is because I want a I want a large, middle, and rich class to start developing, and for that I need the poor class to take the strain. But as literacy rates go on, they will upgrade naturally, even with the taxes. So it works out. I'm trying to bring this up to 80 as well, and that should be good for now. Okay, so let's look at the army quickly. So I'm going to delete one of these to get rid of the burden. Let's get rid of one of these. This guy by himself. Okay, so now we got a pretty good army. How much do I need actually? So 3, that's 5. Extra one of here. I'm kind of tempted to just create a new horse. There we go, so, and get some artillery here. Okay, that should do for now. So let's just increase this up a lot, because we're not going to be doing a lot in this for now. Oh yeah, one thing you'll notice is that at the beginning of this game, Spain is immediately at war with, currently in the middle of a civil war with Castilian. Sorry, not Castilian, the Catalan people. And if they win, they'll install a monarchy. And it's kind of 50-50 for when they win and when they don't. So yeah, we've got some diplomacy points. So I'm going to increase France anyway, just because if you do this, it's definitely a sure thing. Because there is a minor, very minor chance they can just say no. Perfect stable. Okay. So one thing you also notice is the mod also runs a lot slower than normal, but that's because of this. They have a ton more goods. Gold rush. Ooh, I have a place that's making gold. Where? Show me. Sorry. Where is it? There we go. Yay, sweet, sweet gold. I am rolling in the money. Okay, I'm going to create this to 100, and I'm going to start lowering taxes. Feta. One thing you might want to do is lower tariff rates, because that encourages industry, because they no longer pay as much to receive imports, so your factories will benefit from it. I wouldn't recommend lowering it all the way though, because if you do that, there's a chance that your population might just promote too quickly, and then you'll get a crash. So let's leave that as that. Also, the reason why I leave everything else at 80% in here, except for military, is A, I want a lot of military, and B, these guys, if you promote them too much, give them too much gold, they'll get all their goods and they'll just leave. Which will suck. Alright. Civil War in Central America, let's have a look. Nothing much going on right now. Anyone sees the Dark Souls videos, I will apologize now for the quality of those in the last two. I'm using a new recording equipment called OBS, and it's pretty goddamn awesome. I love it, and I don't know what happened with those last couple of videos, but this has been absolutely fine ever since and before that. So I had a look at my settings and I've made a few changes, and hopefully that quality won't happen again. Oh yeah, Egypt's also a puppet of the Ottoman Empire, and they will have a war at some point that drags everyone in. So a lot more flavor events and a lot more events that will cause things that did happen in the time period to happen, as long as certain events parameters are met. So like the Crimea will almost 90% of the time actually happen. The Congo question, maybe not so much. Lots and lots of new nations down here, which just make Africa so much more interesting. Afghanistan was my first proper gameplay run through in this mod, and I gotta say I loved it. Russia is still colonizing, which is always cool. The Second Great Awakening, don't care. So let's combine these two. So this guy's got a horse and others. So this is a good garrison force right now to keep an eye on the islands. Let's combine these two. And you see, by having the 100, we've now upgraded to the point we can get a lot more dudes here. So we're just going to fund a ton of art because we've got enough infantry. What you really want in most of your games is you want to have a big enough army to deal with the big doom stacks the air will throw you. So sort of 5 infantry, 5 art, and 2 horse, they work out very well. 2 engineers preferably. The engineers can be a little bit difficult to get a hold of though towards late game. Okay. Let's put that there. Increase relations again. Just increase relations with the UK. Don't care about Austria. Don't want to be friends with Austria at all. I'm going to be Italian here. I want the territory they've got of me. Not going to be friends. So look, we've already reached 100% now. As you see here, which means I'm getting a lot of income from here. But I'm only at 80% right now, which is not good. Now, I think as admin efficiency goes up, this is great, because this will become easier and easier to hit. Let's do that. Let's look at my factories. So that's pretty good. They're doing pretty well. I'm going to fund those. In fact, I'm going to increase that. See, as I'm going through, profits are increasing. Okay, so I've let that go a bit too far, but 1 is good enough. As you can see, my literacy rate has increased by 1.71 points, which is pretty awesome. We're going to take that away. So it'll be harder to bring this up, and I don't think I'm going to be able to bring it up by that much. But it's doable. So I'm going to encourage this. Liberalism is actually a good thing to encourage because you're starting off fairly conservative, and by late game you want more liberal dudes in charge. Let's decrease this again. You cannot hurt yourself by letting your decreasing taxes, unless you're of course running out of money, then increase it. Okay, so recognize Argentinia's independence. Yes, let's do this. Relations will come with Spain. Spain is a moot point at this point. It's a moo point, as Joey put it. It's not a power anymore. It has, what, 30 troops, 35 ships, but as time goes on, it will just slump further and further back. So that's now 1. Let's take that. So that's everything done we can do with administration, so let's focus on getting our research up. Okay. Right, so using this all this extra money I got, I'm going to start building forts. Because why the hell not? There's very, very little reason not to. Now, I'm going to avoid building anything here, because there's I think France is going to take that off me due to an event later on. So I'm going to avoid just building anything in there in general. There we go, admin efficiency up. Now do I want to do this? If I do this, I increase the amount of coal I'm producing, which is only a good thing, considering the amount of money I make off my coal. Coal is such a useful thing in the early game, and increase the amount of gold I'm making. Might as well add some here as well, and that should be pretty good for now. As you can see, I have 61% of bureaucrats in this project, or 65 now. But my efficiency is only 34, because they're not my culture. Not all of them are my culture. Right, yes, make it so. So that means I no longer have to worry about this, because me and France are now bros. They won't accept alliance, but we're bros. UK, let's switch to. Don't care about the Ottomans, they're also losing. They'll probably jump out. Ottomans and Spain will probably fall out before the end of this game. Only once have I seen both of them make it all the way to the end of the game as great powers, and that was in the weirdest of games. I was playing as Ireland and wanted to see how much of an industrial great power I could become if I just did nothing but that. Truth is, I made secondary and I never got over it. But it was amazing seeing both the Ottoman Empire and Spain making it this far. It was crazy. Alright, Little Centurion. Alright, officers insulted. I'm gonna stuff Italian boy. Okay, I'm gonna referend the officer. Because that'll just jump down fairly quick. Netherlands is now a great power, as I expected it would be, at the cost of the Ottoman Empire. Let go. Yeah, at the cost of the Ottoman Empire. Who are now at war with Russia. Why are they at war with Russia? The Crimean War's already kicked off? That's rare. That's incredibly rare. It never usually starts that early. Jeez. Not seen that one before. Okay. Balloon incident, okay. This is weird. I've never actually seen the Russians start this early. Usually they wait until the 40s to 50s to do something like this. So this is interesting. I'm keen to see how it plays out, especially since Egypt should also be declaring independence fairly soon. So this could be a fairly rapid, like, destruction of the Ottoman Empire in this game. And if it weren't for the fact that I'd pissed off the Austrians, I probably would consider going to war with Ottomans at this point. Because, you know, anything that hurts them is always gonna benefit me, really. So standard. Let's increase our relations to other nations. There we go. Queen is now in charge, so that means Queen Victoria is now running things. She won't kick some ass. I think Victoria took over in like the 1850s once. That was just weird. No, 1870s, that was it. So, look at the amount of money I'm now making. Coal production has just gone through the roof. Gold has also increased. This is awesome now. So, let's go build some railroads, because now by getting some railroads I can also increase the flow of gold that the amount of resources that get created and my industry. There's really no reason not to build these. Okay, let's turn this down. There we go. Grand Exposition, yes, let's do it. Spend a lot of gold, but I get some prestige. Now I'm 13. Awesome. So I'm going to hover around here for a while, and there's even a chance I might leave the secondary group, which can happen. That's not nice, but it does. Okay, yeah, there's no point in me going any further. I'm just not going to get as much bureaucrats from my culture to increase efficiency beyond this point until later, so I might as well wait until I'm Italy. In the meantime, I can use this here to gain as much as I want. So I may have increased it a little bit, decreased this a little bit too much. I'm going to bring that back up a bit. I like the nice numbers, so 55, yes. Ottoman Empire just went bankrupt, so this is just the worst for them. There's no way they're going to make a comeback out of this now. Age of liberalism. With Napoleon's armies have been defeated, so basically liberals are still annoyed. Mexico. So the Ottoman Empire have been defeated, and they're in a pretty sorry state right now. They have 0 units and 35 navy. If it weren't for the fact that I'd have struggled getting out of there, I probably would declare war on them. Greece, on the other hand, is going to beat me to the punch and start declaring war, which I think is the right thing. The British have now, the Egyptians have now left, declared independence, and they made a deal, by the looks of it, with the Ottomans, so that the Ottomans would keep certain chunks of territory, but not the rest, which is a pretty good starting point for Egypt. Damn, I love this game. Every time I start, something weird happens. It's great. Right, we'll stop talking. So now I can run this, which gives me prestige, and we'll lose militancy. Alright, I want to get this ASAP. And then in 1850, I want to get the Austria's joined them. I want to get the I want to pretty much save up like a year beforehand just to get this instantly, so I can get France to declare war and I get my territory. That would be awesome. Preferably, I want that to happen right when the Prussian and Austrian brothers' war tend to kick off, because then, you know, that's Austria really hammered. The worse I can make it for them, the better. And you know what? I may tell a lie here, because the Ottoman Empire is a tricky beast. In fact, any game is a tricky nation is a tricky beast. I've seen Austria lose 90% of its territory and still make a comeback. So if they can do that, it's going to be easier. Now, the problem for the Ottomans, though, is if the rebels take over, then there's a good chance that they'll turn into a democracy or some sort of more liberal nation. And the problem is, any rebels that take over means the end of the current dynasty, which means you no longer get the events that come with you. Because if you get those events that are standard for the monarchy only, you can you finally get events that actually do great reforms that pass industry, increase literacy, and let you accept certain nationalities as actually accepted cultures. So, as the Ottomans, it's actually super. You know, if you're willing to play them, you can bring them back fairly quick. There we go. So Tripoli's now free. First time I've seen them do that. Usually Tripoli does not get its independence. I'm tempted to declare war on them, in honesty. Yeah, I'm thinking of going for it. Oh, wait, hold on. So, how much would I have to go? It's not worth it. I'd have to take that territory just to do it. If I wait until I have something like state government or nationalism, I can just take them on one turn. Alright, so what's the Ottoman Republic doing? So now it's His Majesty's government. So yeah, they're now hurt. The Austrians are keeping the Ottomans alive here, but for the most part, they're hurt pretty bad. Oh, we've got some points, might as well use them. Alright, so I have enough clergy now. I actually have too much. I gotta start paying more attention here. So let's build some railroads actually while we're here. There we go. I think here and here are the only places I can actually build them. Let's encourage some officers. Let's increase this.